I'm Tammy, and welcome to today's Vinyasa flow with loving kindness. We will incorporate loving kindness throughout our practice, loving kindness for ourselves and loving kindness for others. Loving kindness, also known as meditation, has many varieties, and the one I am basing on today is from where I did my yoga teacher training at Lakshmi Rising in Costa Rica. So with that, let's settle into our comfortable seat and let's inhale together and exhale together. One more time, inhale together and exhale. In our practice today, we're going to be doing some deep belly breathing. And so to start that, I thought I would introduce 3-part belly breathing or diaphragmatic breathing. So with this, I'm going to break it down into the 3 parts first, and then we will put it all together. So focusing on our lower belly, the lower portion, you can even rest your hands on your belly if you'd like, and inhale deeply into your belly. So you're expanding your belly as you inhale. And then exhale, bringing your belly in. Do that 2 more times, inhaling into your belly and exhale. Inhale into your belly and exhale. One more time, inhale deeply into your belly and exhale. Next, we're going to move up to our upper body or our low ribs. So if you want to place your hands on your sides, and when you breathe in, you want to expand your ribs so your hands will go out. So breathe in, expanding your ribs, and exhale. Inhale into your ribs and exhale. One more time, inhale into your ribs and exhale. You can go ahead and release your hands down. The 3rd part is into our upper body or our shoulders. So for this, you can cross your hands over, resting opposite hand and opposite collarbone or shoulder. And when you inhale, then you'll be lifting your arms up through your breath because your chest will be expanding. So go ahead and inhale into your chest and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale. Go ahead and release your hands down. And now we're going to put all 3 parts together, which sometimes takes some practice, even for myself. So when we inhale, we're going to first inhale into our belly, then into our sides, then into our chest. Pause. And when we exhale, reverse that direction. So exhale out through your chest, through your ribs, and your belly. So inhaling into your belly, into your ribs, and into your chest. Pause, exhale, letting out air from your chest, from your sides, and from your belly. And we'll do that 3 more times. So go ahead and inhale, belly, sides, chest. Pause, exhale, chest, sides, belly. Inhale, belly, sides, chest. Pause, exhale, chest, sides, belly. One more time, inhaling into your belly, your sides, and your chest. Pause, exhale through your chest, your sides, and your belly. And pause as we take a moment to invite loving kindness into our practice, into ourselves, into our bodies, into our beings. Inhale that loving kindness. And exhale. We're going to come into tabletop. So coming onto your knees, with your knees underneath your hips, your hands underneath your shoulders, flat back, the tops of your feet on the mat. We're going to come into cat-cow first. So inhale, bringing your head up, dropping your belly, arching your back, pulling your shoulders back. Exhale, dropping your head, bringing your belly up to the top of your back, so you're arching your back. Inhale, forward, dropping your belly. Exhale, back. And here we can even practice that belly breathing as we inhale forward, breathing into our belly. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back as we're blowing that air out of our belly as we pull our belly into our core. 2 more times. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Last time. Inhale, forward. And exhale, back. Coming back into tabletop, we're going to do some C-shape bends as we warm up our spine. So with your hands still firmly planted, your shoulders over your wrist, and your feet still on the ground, still grounded to the earth supporting you, go ahead and look over your right shoulder and pushing your right hip out a little bit. So you're creating this C shape in your spine. Breathe into that. Inhale again. Exhale, coming back to center. And inhale to the other side. So looking over your left shoulder, pushing your right hip out a little bit. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale again. And then come back into tabletop. At any point, if you need to sit back into child's pose, or even sit back and do some wrist circles, if being in tabletop or on your wrist gets to be too much, just sit back and do some circles going back and forth. So coming back into tabletop, we are going to do some rib circles. So again, shoulders over wrists, hands firmly planted, just creating this circle in our center section here. So going up to the side, down, and to the other side, and then create a fluid movement. You can do this as big or as little as you want. Maybe you even want to start small and then just make your circle bigger and just play with that. Go ahead and pause and reverse the direction. Again, making your circles as small or as big as you would like. And then go ahead and pause at tabletop with a flat back. Take a breath here for a moment and exhale. On your next inhale, lift your right arm up. So your right arm is straight, your fingers pointed forward, and then lift your left leg up. Your foot is flexed and active, so your toes are pointing down. You're pushing, sending energy back through your heel. So your left arm is very stable and supported here, holding your body up. Inhale, exhale, reach back and grab your foot with your right hand, if that is accessible to you. Otherwise, you can always come back down into tabletop also. If you've grabbed onto your foot, slowly, gently, with as much control as possible, come back into your sunbird pose. So your left foot is stretched out, your right hand is reaching forward. Inhale, exhale, release it all down to the tabletop. Go ahead and sit back for a moment and do some wrist circles. So you can either be seated or on your knees, or like I am, just kind of leaning forward here. Inhale back into your tabletop, and we're going to do sunbird on the other side. So inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, you're going to lift your left hand up. Your left arm is now parallel to the ground, and reach your right leg back, flexing through your foot. So you're sending energy and strength through your heel and also through your fingers as they're pointing forward. Inhale, exhale, and your next inhale, if you like, you can reach your left hand around, grabbing onto your right ankle, creating this great chest opener and shoulder opener and hip opener. We're doing a lot of opening in this pose. So if it gets to be too much, go ahead and come back down into tabletop or into child's pose. If you've created this bow shape, then go ahead and gently and slowly come back to sunbird. And then exhale your hands down into tabletop. Taking a moment to pause, to breathe. Let's even breathe into our belly, breathing deeply into our belly. And exhale. On your next inhale, bring your left knee up. So now your left, and this you're going to probably feel in your hip like I just did. Woo, nearly. So whatever degree feels comfortable for you, you don't want to strain yourself either. Open your leg up. And then if it's possible, start to create circles here. Just moving your knee in a circular shape. Mine is definitely stiff. I have not warmed it up yet today. And then reverse the direction if you have created these circles. And then pause and lower your left knee. Taking a moment in tabletop. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and lift your right leg so your knee is now pointed out toward the right side. Go ahead and create circles on this side. Making sure you're still breathing deeply, mindfully. Go ahead and reverse the direction. And on your next inhale, go ahead and release your knee down. So now you are back in your tabletop. So from here, we are going to come into 8 points pose. So for that, 8 points of our body will be connected to the earth. So scoot your knees back a little bit and begin to bring your forearms forward on your mat. So you're on your forearms, you're on your knees, your bottom is sticking up. And then you're going to lower. Now here, if you have a block, it could be handy for you. I do not have one with me right now, but I will let you know. So you could place a block here under your chin and rest your chin on the block, or you can come all the way down to the mat and start to slide forward. Coming onto your palms, your chin and your chest or your heart center are on the mat. So your bottom is still sticking up. So our 8 points, curl your toes under. Our 8 points are your toes, your knees, so that's 2, 4, your palms, that is 6, and then your chest, 7, your chin, 8. This is the 8 points pose. From here, start to slide down onto your bottom. Uncurl your toes. Come onto your forearms. So now your elbows are under your shoulders. And just a gentle gaze upward. Creating this gentle back bend. Go ahead and look from one side to the other. Warm up your neck a bit. And then nod your head up and down. As though you are saying yes to yourself. Yes to loving myself. Yes to giving myself more kindness. And with that, we'll begin the sequence in loving ourselves. So I invite you to either say to yourself or out loud, may you be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. If it gets to be too much, go ahead and come down onto your hands, resting your forehead, or again, you can place a block underneath you. You can stay here, or you can grab onto your right ankle or your right foot, bringing your right arm around, using your left arm for support. And say to yourself, may I know joy and the seeds of joy. Go ahead and gently and slowly release that leg down, coming back into Sphinx pose and saying to yourself, may I be protected. Feeling your heart center shine forward as you say that to yourself. If you'd like, now take your left hand and reach it around to grab your left ankle, or even just grab onto your pant leg or your leg, whatever is accessible to you, and say to yourself, may I be well. Gently and slowly release your left leg down. Bring your left hand back around so you're back in Sphinx pose again. You could either stay here, or if you'd like, you can reach around and grab each ankle and start to pull up, pushing your heels toward the ceiling, bringing your elbows together and your knees closer together so your knees aren't getting like way spread out. Breathing in here and saying to yourself, may I be at ease. Which is a reminder sometimes, even if we're in a difficult situation or pose, that we can create inner ease within ourselves. If you've come into bow, go ahead, slowly and gently release your legs down. Bring your arms back around, and I invite all of us to cross our arms underneath us and rest your forehead on your hands. Breathing into your belly deeply 3 times. And start to bring your weight up, back into tabletop. Wiggling anything out that feels good right in this moment. And then bringing your hands forward toward the top of your mat, curling your toes under, coming up into our first downward dog. So go ahead and pedal it out if that feels good for you right now. Wiggle anything out in your down dog. In this next sequence, we are going to bring to mind a person that we love. Whoever comes to mind first, envision that person as we'll be sending them loving kindness during this sequence. Looking toward the top of your mat, start to walk forward toward the top of your mat. We'll meet in forward fold, letting your upper body hang over, perhaps grabbing opposite elbow with opposite hand. Slight bend, at least a slight bend in your knees so you're not locking out your knees. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, lift up into half lift, so resting your hands on your shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raising your hands up to the sky. Exhale, resting your hands at heart center. Envisioning this person that you love. Say to them, may you be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. On your next inhale, lift your hands up to the sky. Exhale, dropping your shoulders down a little bit. On your next inhale, grab your left wrist with your right hand, pulling your left wrist up and over with a nice bend in your left knee. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, over to the other side. So grabbing right wrist with left hand, pulling your left hand up and over. A bend in your right knee. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, bringing your hands behind your back, either fingers pointed down or fingers pointed up. Bringing your elbows together, create this nice, gentle arch in your back, bringing your elbows together. Have a nice bend in your knees right now. So again, we're creating this heart opener, shoulder opener, envisioning the person that you love, that you are sending loving kindness to. Say to them, may you know joy and the seeds of joy. And your next inhale, clasp your hands together, still behind your back, and fold over into a forward fold, bringing your hands up to the sky. Inhale, exhale, drop your hands down to the mat and step back into a down dog. In your down dog, push your chest toward your belly. As we say to the person that we love, may you be protected. And your next inhale, lift your right foot up to the sky in three-legged dog. Exhale, bringing your right knee into your heart center, and then your right foot onto the mat at the top of your mat. So you're coming into a low lunge. So if you need to do that in a couple steps, it's all good. Inhale. Need to adjust myself. Rising up into high lunge. Exhale, drop your shoulders down. Inhale, Exhale, bring your hands to heart center and say to the person you love, may you be well. And next inhale, we're going to turn our back foot so now our toes are pointed toward the side of our mat. Raise our arms up parallel to the mat as we come into warrior two. Inhale, dropping your back hand down on your back leg, flipping your front palm up, bringing it up and over into reverse warrior. And next inhale, cartwheel your hands down to the mat. Turn your back toes forward and then step your right foot up to the sky in three-legged dog and then lower it back into down dog. And your next inhale, lift your left foot up to the sky in three-legged dog. Bring your left knee into your heart center. Pause. And then bring your left foot forward into low lunge. Rise up into high lunge. Exhale, releasing your shoulders down. Inhale. Exhale, bringing hands to heart center. And your next inhale, say to the person that you love, may you be at ease. Inhale, open into warrior two. So your back foot has turned so that your toes are pointed toward the edge of your mat. Bring your arms parallel. Inhale, exhale, dropping your back hand onto your back leg, flipping your front palm over and bring your palm up and over for reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down and turn your back foot so your toes are pointing toward the front of the mat again. So you're back in low lunge. Inhale, exhale, stepping your left foot up into the sky in three-legged dog and then lowering it into down dog. Here, let the image of the person that you love dissolve away. And then inhale deeply into your belly 3 times. The next person we're going to bring to mind is someone that we have neutral feelings towards. So it could be someone that we see regularly, maybe at the grocery store or a coffee shop or on a walk, someone that we just want to send loving kindness to. So I invite you to bring that person to mind. From downward dog, lift your right foot up to the sky. Bring your right knee into your heart center and then send your right foot forward into low lunge again, this time dropping your left knee onto the mat. Sitting back, so now you've come onto your right heel, using your fingertips for support as we come into this half splits. Bring to mind this person that you have neutral feelings for and say to them, may you be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. walk your hands forward and placing your right foot down in the mat. So now you're back in low lunge. Place your hands on your right knee and start to push yourself, your upper body upward, dropping your shoulders back, this nice chest opener, lifting your head high, the crown of your head reaching toward the sky. You can keep your hands here. You can bring your hands to heart center, or you can open up, either bringing your arms out wide or clasping your hands behind you for this gentle back bend. Wherever you are at, say to this person that you have neutral feelings toward, may you know joy and the seeds of joy. Releasing your hands down to the mat, stepping your left foot back, so now you're on both knees, placing your hands under your shoulders so you're back in tabletop. You can tap the tops of your feet. Now that we have that firm foundation planted, we're going to come into puppy pose. So if you want some more room on the front of your mat, go ahead and scoot back some. But you stay on your knees. Your bottom is going to stay up in the air and start to come down onto your forearms and then slide forward. This can be a really big shoulder opener. So just go to whatever feels comfortable for you without creating too much strain in your body. Or if you want to be in child's pose, that's okay too. If you'd like to continue down in puppy pose, bringing your arms out long, resting your chin on the mat, and your heart center will also touch the mat. And here in puppy pose, sending loving kindness to this neutral person, say to them, may you be protected. Slowly and gently start to bring yourself back up into tabletop, and then curl your back toes, coming into down dog. And your next inhale, lift your left foot up to the sky in three-legged dog. Bring your left knee into your heart center, pause, and then bring your left foot forward onto the mat into low lunge, and dropping down onto your right knee. Sitting back, so we're coming onto our left heel, using our hands to hold us and support us as we come into half splits. Say to the person that we have neutral feelings toward, may you be well. Inhale, coming forward. So we're back in our low lunge, putting your hands on your left knee and pushing your upper body up toward the sky, stretching up toward the sky, your crown center, the crown of your head reaching up toward the sky, dropping your shoulders back, either staying here or bringing your hands to heart center, bringing your hands down and back, or creating a bind. Say to this person, may you be at ease. Releasing your hands down into the mat, coming up onto your back toes, and then stepping back into down dog. Let the image of that person dissolve out of your mind and breathe deeply into your belly 3 times. So now we're going to release that person. The next one can be challenging and difficult. So at any moment, if you just need to come into child's pose, or if any emotions come up for you, just if you're in a safe space, allow that to just come out through your body and not be stuck in your body. This next sequence will be sending loving kindness to a difficult person, someone that has been difficult for us, or a family member, or a friend, or even the world, someone who may have hurt us, or someone that we love. So we are sending loving kindness to a person that has been difficult for us, in whatever way that is for you. So bringing that person to mind, we'll start again in down dog. Lifting your right foot up to the sky in 3-legged dog. Exhale, bringing your right knee to your left elbow. And in this, thinking about how sometimes we close off ourselves or our heart to protect us, and that's okay. That's okay. Drop your right leg onto the mat and scoot your left foot back. So we're coming into pigeon here. And for pigeon, for myself, like all of our bodies are different, so poses will look different too. And for pigeon, for me, my leg is at an angle like this. Some people, their leg will come straight across. For me, it doesn't work that way for me and my body, because your hips should be square, like facing toward the front of your mat. And if I bring my leg up, then my hips are not square and I start to fall over. So find the comfortable pose for you. And in this pigeon, I invite you to stay up on your fingertips or your palms and just create this openness in your chest and in your heart, and breathe into that. And say to this difficult person, may you be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. Then sitting over on your right hip, bring your left leg around and cross your left foot over. So your left foot is now at the right of your knee. Bringing your right arm up and wrapping it around your left knee, placing your left hand on the ground behind you. Say to this difficult person, may you know joy and the seeds of joy. Releasing your right arm, bringing your left leg back around, coming into tabletop, and then lifting up into down dog. Pressing your heart, reaching your heart center toward the top of your thighs, letting your head loose. Pushing down through your heels. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, say to this difficult person, may you be protected. Inhale, bringing your left foot up to the sky. Exhale, bringing your left knee to your right elbow. Pause for a moment, and then drop your left leg onto the mat and scoot your right foot back. So we're coming into pigeon on this side now. With your hands planted on the mat. Inhale, exhale, drawing your shoulders back to create this openness within yourself. On your next inhale, say to this difficult person, may you be well. Sitting over on your left hip, bringing your right foot around and placing it next to your left knee. Inhale your left hand up to the sky. Exhale, bringing your left arm around your leg, planting your right hand behind you for support. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, saying to this difficult person, may you be at ease. Your next inhale, go ahead and release your arms. Swing your right foot around. Come back into tabletop. And then rise up into down dog. Let the image of that person dissolve away, fade away. And breathe deeply into your belly 3 times. This next sequence is going to be for someone who has inspired us. It could be somebody that we know personally, or just somebody that we've heard about that has inspired us. It could be a person that is still living with us or no longer on this earth. Bringing that person to mind, go ahead and come down onto the mat. Bringing your feet out in front of you. Grabbing the backs of your thighs and slowly begin to release down onto the mat. Bringing your feet just behind your bottom and hip width apart. We're going to come into a bridge. So again, if you have a block and would like to put a block underneath, that is all good. As we come into our bridge, go ahead and inhale and start to slowly raise your pelvic floor up, vertebrae by vertebrae, lifting your back up off the mat, maybe in scooting under your shoulder blades a little bit, really engaging your legs so it's not just your glutes that are holding your legs and your bottom and your lower back up. Pressing down through your feet that is supporting you. As you think of this person that has inspired you, say to them, may be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. Go ahead and slowly back down into the floor, vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, rise back up into your bridge pose. Here, if you'd like, you can take your right foot and cross it over your left knee. We'll say to this person, may you know joy and the seeds of joy. If you've crossed your foot over your knee, go ahead and release your right foot down to the ground. And then everyone slowly and gently release vertebrae by vertebrae onto the ground. Pause. And our next inhale, come back up into bridge. And if you've crossed your right foot, this time we'll do our left. So bringing your left foot up, crossing your left ankle over your right knee. Say to this person that has inspired you, may you be protected. If you've crossed your ankle, go ahead and lower your left foot down. Everyone lower onto your back. Go ahead and rise back up into bridge pose. If you'd like, you can clasp your hands and put them underneath you, perhaps lifting the pelvic floor a little bit higher. Saying to this person that has inspired you, may you be well. Go ahead and gently release down on to the ground. Bringing your feet to the edges of the mat, dropping your knees together, resting your hands over your heart center. Say to this person, may you be at ease. Resting your hands, your arms by your side. Let the image of that person dissolve. Breathe deeply into your belly 3 times. As we come into our cool down period, bring to mind your community, the world, your country, this earth, whatever it is that you want to send this next sequence of loving kindness to, bring that to mind. Go ahead and hug your knees in and gently rock from side to side. And say, may you be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. Releasing your feet down to the mat. Scoot your bottom over to the left side of the mat and drop your knees over to the right. sending loving kindness to the community, the world, the earth, whatever you have chosen. Say, may you know joy and the seeds of joy. Bringing your knees back up to center. Hugging your knees in again, gently rocking back and forth. Sending loving kindness, saying, may you be protected. Dropping your feet onto your mat, scooting your bottom over to the right side, dropping your knees over to the left. Sending loving kindness, saying, may you be well. Inhale, bringing your knees back up to center, bringing your bottom to the center of your mat. We're going to come into happy baby. So bringing your knees into your chest first, and then grabbing onto the sides of your feet, or with your peace fingers, grabbing your big toe and pulling your knees down towards your armpits, letting your tailbone still rest onto the ground. Feel free to rock back and forth here if that feels good for you. Sending loving kindness, saying, may you be at ease. Inhale and bringing your knees in to hug your knees again. As you exhale, slowly extend one leg at a time, taking your time to fully extend your legs onto the ground, letting your feet loose. Bring your hands up overhead, nice stretch. As you let that image dissolve, bring your hands back down onto your belly. Breathe deeply into your belly 3 times. And then resting your arms alongside your belly. Inhale. Exhale, let your body relax into the ground that is supporting you. Inhale. Exhale, letting your body relax even more. As we come into Shavasana, we'll be here for the next couple of minutes, just letting this practice absorb into our body, integrate into our body the loving kindness that we have for ourselves and for others. start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing gentle movement back into your body. Go ahead and roll over to one side, resting your hands under your head. And then take your time coming back up to seated. Putting your hands over your heart center, breathing deeply into your belly, into your sides, and into your heart. And exhale. May you be free from suffering and the roots of suffering. May you know joy and the seeds of joy. May you be protected. May you be well. May you be at ease. Until next time, take good care. Thank you for joining me. Much gratitude for you.